in the Female Online Business Owners Group. And today I have with me Sophia Soul. And I'm going to tell you all about Sophia in just a moment. And then we're going to ask Sophia some wonderful questions. And I'm absolutely thrilled and excited to be doing this interview with you today, Sophia. So those of you that don't know, my name is Sunny Love. I teach female entrepreneurs who are either just starting out or they've been in business for a while, how to develop their online business so that it becomes profitable and it's actually easy for them as well. So rather than working harder, they're working smarter and they're not spending all the time at the computer, because the point of being in business for yourself is to actually enjoy your time. So that's what I do. And today we have a spotlight interview with the lovely Sophia Soul. So Sophia has been kind enough to send me her bio, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because you'll find out through the questions. But I'm going to just give you a little bit, okay? Because what Sophia's told me is that you feel that you've been different. I'm going to go into that, how you feel that you've been different. And I love the fact that you've been on a spiritual path. And, you know, there's a lot of things that you and I need to talk about, as we've said separately, because I too have been on a spiritual path. Yours much longer than mine, I can say. But, you know, through that, you've learned a lot about meditation and your healing modalities as well.
Yes.
But prior to all of this, you had, by the looks of it, quite a difficult life. You know, quite some difficulties. You had some challenges due to a genetic disorder, and you faced a lot of challenges in your life, not least of which with all the chronic pain that you had, bullying and sexual and emotional abuse. So, you know, there's quite a lot there. That's even giving me just goosebumps just even saying it. Um, so you've been through a lot, Sophia. So can you tell us, sort of track us back a little bit? If we could start off with, you know, what that was all about for you and how you broke through from that and how you are where you are now. I mean, that's a lot to talk about, but perhaps if we just start at the beginning.
Well, thank you, Sunny, and thank you for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity to be able to share my story and my passion and my mission with all your beautiful women in your community. And if you might have to stop me occasionally, because otherwise we could be here all night for you.
I'll be
Because
okay with that.
so where do we start? So as I said, I was born with a genetic condition. I've had over about 30 operations. And if you meet me physically in person, and which hopefully one day we will, I'm a little bit vertically challenged.
Okay.
So I'm, 4 foot something at a stretch. And chronic pain. Couldn't walk about 100 meters without being in pain. And for a lot of times I had to get around on a mobility scooter, as
Okay.
well as wear a neck brace, because my neck was compressing, which is why I've shrunk. I used to be 5 foot. Now I'm not, 4 foot something. So that led me to a lot of searching. And even before that, when I was even a lot younger, I knew that I was different. I could see things differently. I knew that I never felt that I belonged where I was. I never felt that I belonged in Australia. And I always knew that there was something more. Always knew that there was something more. And the whole thing led me on a journey to find myself, especially because I was born in a different body, or a body that looks differently. And of course, when you go through school and high school, children can be, when they're faced with something different, with someone who looks different or acts differently, and if they don't know what to do with that, how to comprehend that, then they tend to treat that person rather badly because they don't know. So I was bullied a lot and had absolutely no self-esteem. So much that I didn't even think I was worthy enough to speak, and developed a very bad stutter, because no one would let me talk. And that whole journey, as it led me to meditation. right? I was just guided to do meditation, led me to learn about self-esteem, to study and to practice and to teach self-esteem, because I really believe that we teach what we need most. Right? And I needed meditation and
Mm,
I needed self-esteem. So I started to facilitate a lot of workshops and retreats on self-esteem.
mm-hmm.
Even before that, I developed a lot of confidence in speaking because I just made myself
Yeah,
to go
right.
out and do public speaking. One of the ways that I really discovered, if you want to overcome a fear, or if you want to overcome something, you just go out and do it.
Mm. Yeah. Who is it that wrote the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway? I can't
And
remember
do
who
it.
the,
Yeah.
yeah. And it
So
is so true, isn't it? But the thing is though, Sophia, I mean, it's great that you've come through all that, but that must have been, you must have had to really dig deep, because you've been through a lot, not only with the physical problems that you had, but also with the fact that you were severely bullied. So to actually, I mean, did what happened exactly? Did someone come along and show you meditation, or did you just discover it? Um,
I, with the meditation, I discovered it. I was drawn to it. I follow my guidance a lot now, and even beforehand, I really look for symbols and being shown things and listening to that inner voice. And I was guided to do meditation. And I studied meditation. I studied a particular type of meditation, Raja Yoga meditation, for about 20 years.
mhm,
And I've also done other meditations as well. But for me, the biggest meditation or the deepest meditation is just developing that connection, that relationship with yourself.
mm,
So then
mm.
you can just go deep within yourself, and really fulfill your own needs. I learned very quickly, or at some stage, that no one else could fulfill my needs,
Mm,
that I had to fulfill my own needs. Like I'm talking about, I had to learn how to love myself. I
mm,
had to make myself happy. I had to fulfill my own worth. That if I was reliant or dependent on other people, that wouldn't happen, and I'd end up with sorrow,
yeah.
which I didn't like. I've had enough sorrow in my life. So basically, there was a choice
Mhm,
that I could continue living a life of pain, of sorrow, of the poor me, of a lot of medication, a lot of medication that wasn't doing my body any good. Or I could and blame. I used to blame everything and everyone for my
ah,
pain. I even blamed my own body, and I didn't treat my body very well for quite some time.
mm,
And I blamed I blamed my mother, I blamed my sister, I blamed God. If there was a God, I blamed the universe, I blamed everyone. It's all
mm,
their fault. Poor me. But then I realized, well, I can continue living that way, or I can make a decision to take responsibility for my own life, to welcome this body, to accept this body, that this body, if it wasn't for this body, I wouldn't be the person that I am. That even though it gave me lots of challenges, that they were all lessons that
mm,
I could learn,
mm.
um, and to get on with my life and to make the most of it.
Absolutely. And, I really sort of honor and respect that of you, because you have gone through a lot of adversity and to have come out the other side. And now you are teaching that. And that is a gift that you're now passing on to other people. I want to actually just talk to you about meditation just for a moment, because what I found, I mean, I too have also been on a spiritual journey as well. And it's been a life-changing thing for me, absolutely life-changing. And it's something that I hold very dear to my heart. And yet, when I because you've been to retreats, meditation retreats, and when you're in those retreats or ashrams or wherever that might be, and I know for me, when I've been there, you practice constantly. You practice all day, every day. And then you step out and you come back to your kind of normal life and the day to day things that go on. How do you maintain that practice? What would you say to someone to help them maintain that practice in the sort of Western way of being?
And not being caught up with so-called life.
Exactly.
It really comes down to developing love for myself and developing that I am worth this. That in order to experience this, I need to put myself first. And and I know it's extremely hard, especially for mothers and things like that, because of children and family and husbands and wife, and, and lives and stuff like that. But how can I be there for someone else if I'm not there for myself first? How can I, fulfill someone else's needs, especially children's, if I can't fulfill my own needs first? And it's a big lesson. It's a big lesson. But I've come down to me to how do I like to feel? Do I enjoy being stressed out, burnt out, angry, frustrated, sick, and all that, by running around and being overwhelmed with life? Or do I like to be healthy and calm and to be able to take on challenges of life in a much calmer way? So that, I still experience challenges. I welcome challenges because, again, they make me grow, but they don't affect me as much because I've got that store. I've got that that built up peace, that build up stability that happens over time. It may only, even if it's only 5 minutes a day, it puts that top up. The biggest thing for me with meditation is it's the consistency. So it doesn't work if I don't meditate. If I meditate once a week, it doesn't work. But it has to be every day.
Yes.
A little bit here and a little bit there. I tell, a lot of people, they say I'm too busy. I say, do you go to the toilet? It's perfect time to meditate for, 30 seconds.
Yeah, look, that is actually so true, isn't it? The problem is, these days people take their phones with them to the toilet.
Exactly. Exactly.
Even some of the teachings that go on the internet when you're actually a business owner, they're saying use the toilet time, use the time to contact
Yeah.
people. And I think you're absolutely right. It's an ideal opportunity just to be sitting and peaceful for a moment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
what
that's
one
the
of the things
and that's
that
the thing.
sorry, Sophia. One of the
Yeah.
questions that often gets asked of me, or statements, it's a statement rather than a question, is that people say, I don't know how to meditate. I can't meditate. What would you say to that?
To me, Sunny, meditation is just thinking, right? But it's thinking about what I want to think about, not what the mind wants to think about. And when I say that meditation is just thinking, the more you meditate, the deeper you meditate, I actually experience it when you can get to a space where there's no thoughts, right? You just are. But just to start with, it's just focusing my mind on what I want to focus on. For some people, that might be a mantra. For some people, it might be your breath. It's just counting your breath. And when your mind wanders, which it will, you bring it back and you count your breath. Um, so there are different types of meditation, and we need to find the ones that are really suitable for us. And then you just keep on going slowly. The best thing that I meditate, the best way that I meditate is I don't sit and meditate for a long period. I meditate for those short periods throughout the day. So I've got into a habit, when we're doing things, we're doing. But when I finish one thing, I'll just stop for 30 seconds, for a minute, and just go within and experience that stillness. And that builds up a power, that builds up a strength and ability. And then when I can sit longer, either in the mornings or in the evenings, if I want to, then I can meditate, not a problem, for a longer where if I run around all day and do all day and then I sit to meditate, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I end up beating myself up saying, and I can't do this. So I say, well, let's just try, 30 seconds.
Mm.
And if you can meditate for 30 seconds, you can do for 60. And then you can do for 60 seconds, you can do for 60 minutes
Mm.
eventually.
Mm.
But just slowly build that up.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
counting your breath, humming,
Mm.
humming,
Mm.
whatever meditation that you like to do.
Yes, yeah. It's funny because when I was one of those people that would say, oh, there's no way I can meditate. My mind's far too busy. And I would just brush it off. My mind's far too busy. I haven't got time for this. But then when I started my journey of meditation and took those moments, and I think that it's absolutely key what you're saying, is that just take a few moments and just be still and be
Yeah,
quiet. And it really, in the beginning, it doesn't even matter what the mind is doing. Just accept it and
yeah,
just be. In fact, what I learnt, this was at an Osho ashram that I stayed at for 3 weeks. And it was the most amazing thing that I've ever done. And I remember Osho speaking and saying, be a witness to your own thoughts, be a witness to your own
yeah,
mind. And what that did is it helped me sort of have this visualization of going outside and looking down at my own head, at my own thoughts. And then the more you practice, the more you can come into that silent space, even if it's just for a
absolutely.
moment.
Absolutely. And
Mm.
that's why I say, people say I'm too busy. I say, well, do you go to the toilet?
Yeah, yeah,
Just if it's just 30 seconds, it's my time. Do
yes,
not take your phone into the
yes,
toilet.
yeah,
It's my time. When you first wake up in the morning, before you jump out of bed and get involved in that busyness of
mm,
the day, especially a lot of people do now is they're automatically on their phones or their computers,
mm,
putting all that mental stimulus
mm,
to our mind. Before that happens, take a few moments, for even 5 minutes of just breathing,
mm,
just
mm,
going within and developing that, your own self love, experiencing that love within for yourself, telling yourself, how much you appreciate yourself, or being grateful, running through a few things that you're grateful for and really experiencing the power of that gratitude, the energy of that gratitude.
mm,
Um, you know, it is good to say, I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that. That's the first thing. But to really go deeper and to fill that gratitude up into your heart and your whole body.
mm.
Um, just those little things.
Yeah, that's beautiful because that made me just think of again where a lot of women in particular, and I know men that experience this as well, but they actually do go through this phase or these times where they truly don't love themselves. And then they're trying to love themselves. They want to love themselves, but they don't even know where to start. And I was like that. I didn't even know what the concept of loving oneself was. You know? But then when I learned how to go very deep into myself, it's a whole different situation. So what would you say to someone that has been told maybe that you've got to learn to love yourself? How would you encourage that for them? What would you ask them to do, perhaps just to start with?
In a fun way, I'd say come along and do my self esteem course, my self esteem webinar that's happening this Saturday. Actually, I didn't tell you about that one. But it again, it's a process. A lot of people can see things in others,
Mm,
and this is both positive and negative. A lot of people can see all these wonderful qualities in others or in nature. I say if you can see something without, it's because it's within.
mm,
Right. So to start with, I said, right. when you go for a walk, as we were discussing before, I live by a beautiful lake, and every day I go down that lake and I see the beauty. I see the wonder of nature,
Mm.
right? And I recognize that beauty is within me.
Mm.
That wonder, that one, because if I didn't have it in here, I wouldn't know what it was.
Mm.
So slowly, it's a slow process. It's learning to know, it's getting to know your qualities, it's getting to know your virtues by doing different exercises and different activities, by seeing them in others. Every day I run I host a Self Esteem and Me tribe
Mm.
in our community, and part of that is I encourage people to see a virtue or experience a virtue every week, and that virtue is within. And slowly, instead of going, I can't do this, or I'm no good, or I don't have any virtues, that slowly turns around and saying, well, actually, I do.
Mm.
I
Mm.
do. I am a beautiful being. I have the virtues of tolerance. I have the virtues of patience, of stability, of, acceptance, of all, whatever they are,
Mm. Mm.
whatever they are. And that just slowly develops that love. And then we develop our worth, that I am worthy to be here. I am worthy to be able to speak. I am worthy to live in this world. I am worthy to go out and do whatever it is. I am worthy to achieve whatever I want to be,
Mm. Mm.
to fulfill my own journey.
Yeah, like you say, it is a gradual process, and
Very
one that you've obviously been through, because on your bio you said that you are pain free and you're not on medication any longer.
yeah. No.
So, was that through purely just the meditation, or was it also through your sound healing and your breath work, which I would love for you to talk to us about?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Sonny, because this is what I really love. This is my other passion. I'm very passionate about empowering other women and helping them with their self-esteem and their self-worth. And I'm also so passionate about sound, because sound also totally changed my life. The self-esteem changed my life emotionally from the inside. So it built my self-worth. The sound healing changed my life on a such a physical level.
Okay.
So a few years ago, like I said, I was in chronic pain. I couldn't walk. I injured both knees, and I needed to have a double knee replacement. But because I've had so much operations and I've had so many drugs, so much drugs in my body, it was like my body went into trauma. When
Mm.
I remember sitting in the surgeon's office and him saying, "There's nothing you can do. You're too young, but there's nothing else. You need two knee replacements." And it was like my body just screamed at me, and it just said, "No, can't. I just can't do it.
Mm.
No more surgery. No more drugs. There's got to be a different way," because I was also very toxic, and I knew that the drugs I was taking to help me with the pain was also causing the pain,
Mm.
some of it, because
Mm.
of
Mm.
all. So I just made a decision right there and then to stop. No more surgery, no more medication. That's it. Just stop. Um, so I tried all different other modalities to help me with the pain. I tried all sorts. I tried massage. I tried acupuncture. I tried all sorts of things, all sorts of different modalities, and they all helped. They definitely all helped. But I was still in pain. Right? They helped with the symptoms, but not with the cause.
Mm.
And then one day I went to see a breath worker because I wanted to do some work on, honestly, I wanted to do some work on my financial situation. I was told that I was born into a financial war zone, that my
Oh.
parents fought about money, which they did.
Mm.
So when the situation or the atmosphere or the conditions that you're born with, that happen to you when you're born and at a very young age, can affect you your whole life
Mm,
and you
mm.
don't even know. Right? Forget about past lives, even just this life.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do some rebirthing because rebirthing breath work takes you or can take you back into that of your birth and also of a very young age. And through the process of breathing, it releases all the memories, the cellular memories that are in our body, releases them so it no longer affects us. Right?
Mm.
So I wanted to do that. So I went to see a breath worker who happened to be a sound healer. And before this, I didn't even know about sound healing. I like music, but not
Mm.
sound healing. And I lay down to do my breath work, to do my breathing, and this person did their sound with their bowls, their drum, their voice, their other things. And I still remember it. I still get tingles and spine chills. It was like for the very first time my body woke up. And
Oh.
I could feel the vibration of the sound going into my body and
Mm,
starting to heal. And it was like my body said, "This is what I need.
mm, mm.
This is what I need." Um, so, I mean, like everything, it's not instantaneous. I did a lot of sound healing. I've traveled with sound healing. I practice. I've been guided to do my own sound healing now,
Mm.
and I'm amongst sound on a daily basis. I've been very fortunate that I've been touring. I said up and down the East Coast and over the world. We spent 7 months traveling, doing sound healing, including England and all sorts of other places.
Mhm.
And now I don't take any medication, not even a Panadol. I walk up to 5Ks a day.
Mhm.
Normally at this time we'd be walking.
Mm.
And the only time I'm in pain is if I overdo it, like anyone else.
Yes,
I
yes.
just use sound and my breath work um, to release that pain.
Yeah, right. So I've also experienced that, and I know how powerful that is. And I
Mm.
would love for anyone that's on the live or on the replay to actually just pop in a comment down below whether you practice meditation, first of all, and also whether you have ever been to either sound healing or breathwork healing, because I've experienced both as well, and they are both really quite amazing.
Mm.
Like incredible,
Yeah.
totally life changing. Those two, and it's not as if you have to go to a lot of them to experience something.
No.
You can even go to one and you'll experience something for sure. And I know you probably don't realize, those of you that are on at the moment, you probably don't realize that Sophia is actually in Australia at the moment. And when we started, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. So, but that's normal for Sophia, because you go out for your walk, don't you?
It's
Um, and I was living in Australia, and I would do the same thing. I would go for an early morning walk on the beach. Absolutely loved it, and that in itself is a form of meditation, because again, you can just totally go into yourself, completely center yourself, and just be hearing those waves. And like you're walking around the lake, so you'll be hearing the lovely birds and the water just on the side of the shore there. So it must be a beautiful thing. What I'd like for you to tell us about is your community, if you would, because I noticed that you have the Sacred Feminine community, and I know that you're very passionate about actually changing the lives of women and helping them. So I'd love for my ladies here to know more about that, because I really, honestly, whoever comes onto this and watches this, I want you to jump over to the group. It's a group, isn't it? Our Sacred Feminine
um,
community.
we do have our own Facebook community, yes,
Yeah.
plus a lot more.
All right. So what I want is that we're going to drop the links anyway, and when the links are dropped, go over and get into those groups and start experiencing some of this, because I want you to talk about what your community offers and how you help women actually overcome things like, you know, their self-esteem problems and confidence.
and stuff. Thank you. And again, we could be here all day because this is another one of my passions. My mission is to touch the lives of women everywhere, because I know I can feel, like there's so many women that do not live up to their fullest potential, do
Mm,
not live up to, to do what they want to do because they don't think that they're worthy, or they don't think that they can, that they can, that they have the ability to. So last year I was guided. Again, I follow a lot of guidance, and I was guided to come down to where I'm living, even now, even though I wasn't planning on coming here. It's quite beautiful, but I wasn't planning on it. And I was talking to a friend about following these guidance to develop communities for women all over the world. But we kept being guided into doing this. So the long story really short, we have our Sacred Feminine community where we offer, we offer a platform that allows women to connect with other women in whatever way they wish. So we have local communities, or we're starting to build local communities where you can go out and have a coffee. Now, a lot of women, Sunny, as you would know, a lot of women just want to belong.
mm,
They like to chat. They want to belong in a community. It's in our DNA, our cellular DNA. The ancient tribes would gather in community,
mm,
right? So we've got that need to belong to something. So we have that. We develop local communities anywhere. We can do that. If you're listening to this anywhere in the world and you want to belong to a group of women, just let us know. We can help you build it. But then we know that there's a lot of women, because again, my biggest thing is about empowering myself and empowering others. So we help women to do that. We have another pillar where I, I run a self-esteem tribe. There's other personal empowerment tribes. We also help women who have a business, entrepreneurs. We have an entrepreneur mastermind. We are building our whole pillar of being able to help women at whatever stage of business that they're at, whether you've got a business or whether you've only got an idea. If you want to talk to someone, if you need advice of an expert, we can guide you to that expert. In our mastermind tribes that we meet fortnightly, we bring experts in to talk about different things, whether it's, the biggest one I think is social media.
mm,
Everyone's saying they need help with social media, or we've got the experts there who can help. Any different types of aspects of your business, we can do that. And also for women who want to get back in touch with their sacredness,
mm,
that the feminine, this is where the sacred feminine is.
mm,
That, again, that's all, it's part of us. It's all about honoring us as women, honoring our body, honoring our spirit, honoring our whole, the goddess within. Right?
mm,
So if anyone wants to do that, then we've got tribes that people can do that too. So we have our Facebook group that people can join, and we go live in that, and we offer other things in that as well. And then we have our Sacred Feminine community, which was our whole website, which I'll pop the links in it. And
mhm,
we've got tribes on all different topics. We've got tribes on, I said we've got the self-esteem one. I also do a sound is my medicine one,
mhm,
where we can come together. I do 2 sound healings a week. I do a 20-minute one, just with the bowls, and then I do a 75-minute one with all my sound healing. And that one is a usually charged one. It's a $10 a 10 Australian dollars
mhm,
for the 75 minutes. But if you're a member of the Sound is My Medicine tribe, then you get that for free.
mhm,
We do healing tribes. We've got healing with herbs. We've got a healing swap tribes. We've got meditation tribes. We've got a natal chart tribe where people can learn all about their how they were born, all your birth chart.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a crystal tribe. We've got all different tribes, and we welcome people who want to host a tribe too on anything,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then we've also got our preferred partners, which is those women who have businesses, whether it's one-on-one or whether it's courses or classes or events. Then we can help promote you as well.
Wonderful. It sounds like you're covering a lot, and I think that in this interview, it's about finding out who you are,
Yeah.
and we've certainly tapped into that. Now, there is something strange for me.
Yes.
I feel like I know you. Like I feel like we have met.
Yes. Even though we haven't.
Even though we
And at
haven't.
the moment, yeah.
I
Yes.
really feel like we have actually had a conversation in the past. So
Yes.
I know that on a soul level that this was meant to happen, this connection here. And
Yes.
I know that it will go somewhere else, and it doesn't matter where it goes or if or not or whatever. No, it doesn't matter. But the point is that this has been really beautiful time to spend with you. And before I started this interview, I just sat here quietly because I am most definitely out of my practice at the moment. And so I think for me, what this has done is it said, this is your message to get back into your own spiritual practice.
Practice, yeah.
So I thank you for that.
Not a problem. Thank thank the universe, because again we've been brought together for reasons,
Yeah,
and at the right time.
always.
And
Yeah.
there's definitely that connection there. So
All
and we see that so much. People come into our lives to remind us for things, or people come into our lives to teach us something, and then when that lesson's learned, they go out of our lives. And then someone else will come in and bring us, reminders or challenges or whatever it is. So
yes. Yeah.
wonderful. It's spine
Exactly.
tingling.
It's great. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions. They're going to be quick fire questions for you just to
Yep,
finish off with, right?
yep,
So here we
absolutely.
go. What is your favorite word?
Surrender. That's just what came, surrender. I live a
Love
life of
that.
surrender.
Okay. So I have a spiritual name. It's called Arpita,
Yes.
which means surrender.
Wow. There you go.
That's why I was so shocked when you said it. Yeah, that was a name given me at the Osho ashram. So, okay, if you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Ah, oh God, that is the thing. Um, to to connect to connection, and I don't know if you thought that as a superpower, to be able to connect with everyone.
Hmm.
Does that make does that is that the thing, is to be able to not read minds, but to be able to connect with minds.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if we could just literally, click our fingers and everybody in that moment was totally connected and we were
Yeah.
all in complete and utter synergy and of the love kind.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And I really believe that used to happen, and I really believe that will come back again. We've just got to go through all this craziness of life, that we have been able to connect with each other,
mm,
and not needing the technology and the phones and everything else, but to be able to connect.
yes, yeah. I mean, yeah, the world is crazy at the moment, but I do think that it's taught many people many lessons. Each one of us has learned something from it, and I think one of the biggest things actually is people have learned what's most important.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the lessons that are coming through
Yeah,
at this time now.
yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Right, one last question. If you could switch lives with someone for one day, who would you choose?
For one day, just for one day. You do ask very good questions, Sunny. Um, look, I mean, I think it would actually have to be Oprah Winfrey at the moment. That's what's coming up. Only because, well, not because of her ability to reach, millions of
Mm,
women, millions,
yes.
and then the effect of that afterwards. So yes.
Yeah, that's a great choice. That is a great choice. I love it. Okay, so we're going to finish off now. I want to just say thank you to everybody that's come on to the live, and thank you to everyone that's on the replay. This recording will be put onto my YouTube channel and will be available for you to share as well, Sophia. I want to say the biggest thank you has to go to Sophia. I want to say thank you very much for spending your morning when you would normally be walking with me and with my lovely ladies in the group. And I just feel very blessed to have met you and to have actually had a conversation with you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Sunny, and thank you for everyone who's listening and listening to who listens to this afterwards. But no, it's been an honor. It really has. And like you, I think we know each other, and we'll have many more conversations, hopefully.
I'm sure, definitely. We'll arrange that coffee. All right. Good night and have a great day for those of you that are in Australia. Thank you.
Have a
Blessings.
beautiful day.
Bye.
Ah, see you.